But let's move on. Last thing we will talk about today, a little NFL news, Dave. Interesting comments coming up from Sean Payton. As before the year, Sean Payton said comments that this year will be Drew Brees' last. Then he backtracked them, said, I misspoke. Drew Brees is not done. Drew Brees, by the way, has 1 year left on his contract after this year. Drew Brees is also, I thought I saw the news earlier today, allowed to practice, but it's still iffy if he's going to play against the Chiefs this week. I don't think he is. I think he's going to be out. We'll see Taysom Hill yet again. However, on the Huddle and Flow podcast, Peyton was asked about, so this is from Pro Football Talk, Jameis Winston thrown overboard by the Buccaneers and coach Bruce Arians after a full season of adopting Arians' no risk it for the biscuit mantra, currently serves as the backup for the Saints. Coach Sean Payton recently said that Winston eventually will have a chance to become the starter. Here's the exact quote. He's going to have that opportunity the minute Drew Brees leaves. That's the quote. Now, people are taking this out of hand. I don't even know if I want to say out of hand. They're running with it, Dave, because A, Drew Brees is under contract for 1 more year. Number 2, Jameis Winston is not under contract after this year. They would have to re-sign him. So I'm going to ask you, Dave, is this Sean Payton telling us that, hey, no matter Drew's either retiring after this year or we're going to Brett Favre him if he decides to come back?
It would be very, very weird if he got Brett Favre out of town.
With 1 year left on his contract,
it doesn't seem very right. I think Drew's done. I think this injury changed his thoughts on playing another season. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's a chance Jameis Winston sees some playtime against the Chiefs.
Maybe.
I think I think the fans are starting to clamor for the ball to get a little vertical. Want to fuck it go deep, you know?
Are we already turning on Taysom Hill, Dave? Taysom Hill gets beat by the best rookie, the second runner in Rookie of the Year behind Joseph.
The flow, Air Bear. R.I.P. that flow.
Or the haircut, Air Bear cut.
That's the problem. That was the problem. The Saints are still good offensively, Eric. Yes, they're still good, but they were great. Mm-hmm. And Taysom has had one good game. One good game. Mm-hmm. I don't think that warrants continuing to play out this experiment. I think his contract is hilarious. I think that Drew Brees probably will miss this game. I think that's pretty guaranteed. I'm with you. If he's still talking about practicing this week, no, you're not playing.
Well, apparently before last week he had throwing sessions, and they said that they didn't like his. He had limited movement. They didn't he didn't like how things felt, so they kept him out yet again. I think that's going to be the same thing. He'll have chances to throw this week, but yet again, I think it's going to be the same thing. Dude, you are just not ready to go. And I had the same thought you had of this injury is something to where maybe Drew Brees is hey man, I'm going to give it everything I got to get out there this year. But maybe after this year, he looks at his wife, he looks at his kids and goes, you know what, maybe it's time to hang it up.
I mean, he's going to probably be involved with football for the rest of his life. I mean, he seems like somebody who loves the game of football.
Yeah.
If he just keeps his mouth shut, and stop making public comments like an idiot. The thing I do want to touch on, though, with him, his contract, his last couple of games this season, I do expect him to look decent enough. Obviously, when he does get back, I think just the Chiefs are too soon, too tough of a matchup.
Do you think he gets back this season?
Yeah, I do. Okay. I think he'll make probably the final start of the year.
Okay.
For the regular season, I should say.
Give him a little bit of a kind of give you a warm up into the playoffs. Yeah,
you can't let him go completely. So no, and again, I don't hate Taysom Hill. I just don't think he's as good of a quarterback as our boy Winston. 30 for 30. Jameis Winston. I couldn't think of his name. I literally going in my head, I'm going 30 for 30, 30 for 30.
Famous
30
Jameis, 30. Baby.
Yep. Jameis Winston can chuck a ball. Credit given for what he can do. He can move the ball, and he looks great doing it. And I think he's been sitting there on the sidelines for so long. I want him to have a chance this year to prove it, because whether it's a job here or a job somewhere else, whether it's, with the 49ers, Detroit, Indy, Chicago, wherever it may be, he deserves another shot. So I just want him to get that fair shake. And the problem is Taysom's contract is so stupid. Like, that you're stuck between a rock and a hard place,
And like, even for me, I'm looking at their final games. I know we mentioned it on Monday. They've got the Chiefs this week. Then Minnesota comes to town week 16. And then they are going to, like, that last game would be Drew Brees at Carolina against Teddy Two Gloves, which is the weakest out of their last three opponents, plus even a Panthers team week 17. How many of those guys are sitting there going,
Christian McCaffrey comeback time?
Do you think he comes back this season?
I don't know.
Like, there's a part of me there where it's like, I would not be surprised if that team just goes,
he shouldn't.
Yo, Christian, just sit out the rest of the year. It ain't fucking worth it, man.
It's unfortunate that the guy who had been healthy his whole goddamn career, like, never missed a game in high school, never missed in college, and then he gets his payday after never missing in the pros, and then he's just broken.
Yeah, he was never drafted by you before.
Yeah, that's true. It do feel like that
this
sometimes.
Was the year he was drafted by you. Like,
it do feel like that sometimes.
Next year, Dave will avoid him. Bounce back year for Christian McCaffrey. He'll be great.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, can I have a quick aside to vent a little bit for like 2 seconds? I'm venting to the millions and millions of people out there that in our private fantasy league, Dave, we got a couple complainers. Dave.
Really?
Like, so our league is basically 8 people. It's Dave and Mark at the bottom at 6 and 8. I'm not
very bad because of injuries.
Then we have me at the top at 9 and 5. That means we had 5 teams at 7 and 9. And all I have seen in our text group is, well, I should have made the playoffs because of this, and I should have made. You know what I wanted to text to them, but I did not, Dave, because I'm gracious and I'm nice. I just wanted to say, like, win more games. Like, I'm not having this problem because I was 9 and 5. I didn't tie with anybody. So, like, I don't know. You brought, like, Christian McCaffrey fantasy brought up in my head. I haven't been able to vent it to anyone. But, yeah, if anyone's complaining about tiebreakers in fantasy, my answer is win more games. Then you won't have to worry about it. But going back to the Saints, the thing they do have to worry about is a loss this week and maybe a loss to Minnesota next week. I'm not locking that one in. I would lock in a Chiefs loss before I lock in a Minnesota loss, but they are only 2 games ahead of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Do you want to know Tampa's last 5, Dave? Because it is a doozy.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Atlanta twice and Detroit once. They go Atlanta, Detroit, Atlanta. If Tom Brady and this team can't go 3-0 in these last, I know that, like, any given Sunday, Lions have been playing better.
Is he dead?
Like, if this,
Tom Brady dead? Is that what you're saying?
If this Bucks team can't win these last 3 games against Atlanta, or not hot Atlanta, they've been ice cold Atlanta, not in the good way.
Not Matty Ice.
Yeah, not Matty Ice. And then the Detroit Kittens this year. I know they've played better of late, but still got thrown out there.
They put up a hell of a fight against the Packers.
They did. I gave them credit for their fight against them. Bevel's got those guys raring to go.
He is not going to be their head coach, apparently.
No, he's not. But, I mean, the Saints could be in some tricky waters to where it's like, do they try to, like, if they lose this week to the Chiefs, and the Buccaneers beat the Falcons, which I think those are going to be my picks for this week, then the Saints would be at 10 and 4. The Bucs would be at 9 and 5, with 1 game in between, and a Vikings team that might be able to beat you at home.
Conceivably.
Would they go to push him back week 16 so that they stay in that top 3, because, yet again, tiebreakers, I don't know if the Rams beat them in tie-breaking, but they'd be tied with the Rams, stay within that top 3 home field advantage and not fall to 5 or 6, where the Buccaneers are now sitting at the 6th seed.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to predict how he will look in practice, over the next week. He might have a breakthrough kind of a day where it's just you wake up one morning and the flexibility's back. It just takes the body a while to adjust. So he's probably putting himself under a lot of stress, probably working out harder than ever to get back for the season, knowing that this could be his last best chance. So I think it's too early to say that he will not be there for that game. I think the only thing is just I feel safe and confident saying, yeah, the Chiefs probably would be a bad idea. Let him have a full week of rest and practice to get back in it because he needs it.
So, last thing I want to throw out there, very just quick, Dave. Sunday night, Browns-Giants. Yeah. Guess who may be starting that game for the Giants because of some injuries? Colt McCoy may be starting that. There's some rumors
Danny Gibbs,
that
by the way, his name.
Danny Gibbs.
Instead of Danny Dimes, it's Danny Gibbs.
Danny Gibbs, that's right.
As he gives the ball over to the other team so much.
Yeah, but Danny Dimes apparently that leg injury, Danny donates. He might not be playing this weekend. They might be keeping him out, so we could have Baker versus Colt on Sunday Night Football.
I mean, that's a great name off. Baker Mayfield versus Colt McCoy. Talk about Texas quarterbacks right there.
Battle for Texas, baby. I don't even know. Is Baker's from Oklahoma or is he from I know he went to Oklahoma. Yeah. But like is he one of those kids that's like you always hear the ones that are like I was raised as a Texas fan but then I went to Oklahoma.
I always stereotype and get him confused with that spoiled drunk brat who got bounced out of the NFL from the Browns as well.
Oh, Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, I always get them confused.
Yeah, because they remind you of each other, don't they?
Yeah, it's like Baker Mayfield's like if Johnny Manziel cared about football.
Yeah, and they both played for the Browns.
Yeah, well.
He went to Baker Mayfield, born in Austin, went to Oklahoma. Like, there you go. That's the thing. How are you born in Austin in fucking Longhorn territory, but then you go play for the Sooners?
It lined up better. It lined up timing-wise better for him and his opportunities, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Got to take care of number one.
Dave, any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up?
No, really fun show.
I loved it. This show was great.
I started on a shit on the media and then worked my way positive.
Dave, you shocked me because I'm like, we're talking Luka. Dave's going to be happy, going to be talking Luka. And then I was like, whoa, what is going on here?
I hate that people are trying to put him on a pedestal. He's a third-year player. He has played no games this year. And you're saying he should be the favorite for MVP because of Vegas betting odds. He should win a championship. He should do people. Let's back the fuck up and take a look around the league. Okay, LeBron James is still the best fucking player in the league, as he has been for the last decade.
It's like Aaron Rodgers said.
A championship. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's like Aaron Rodgers said. We're throwing around the GOAT too much. Back in the day, there used to only be one GOAT, which is still Michael Jordan. But
I like how I was like. He's like, yeah, there's a GOAT for the best thrower, and he's like,
he just points to Aaron. Oh man, that's gonna do it for us today. Thank you guys for checking us out, giving us a listen, a watch. Whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, remember join the Discord, greatest community on the internet. Link down below our !Discord and the Twitch chat. If you want to support us, make sure we can keep doing great content for you guys each and every day. Patreon.com/MVP vids. Link down below. Patreon. Thank you to Pat Hill and Philly Sean, our Patreon sponsors. We're on Twitch, twitch.tv/MVP vids. We're on YouTube, MVP Sports. Want to thank you yet again for everything you guys do. We do this for you guys, and we are nothing without you guys, the fans. And as always, have a good day, everybody.